Hello and welcome to my channel Inspiring Life Changes. My name is Colette and I'm here today to do the Gemini 2022 reading. So this is for Geminis who are Sun, Moon, Venus and Rising Gemini. If you don't know where those placements are, the Moon or your Rising or your Venus sign, then there is going to be a description, in the description down below, a link for you to go and check that out for yourselves. It's always worth having a bigger picture and more understanding of your own kind of astrological makeup, because then you can have a bigger picture of what's going on with the tarot as well, and you'll be able to check out the moon, corresponding moon or rising sign. Not just in this reading, but in other readings that you may watch as well. So I'm setting, or the cards have been set out in the clock pattern, for want of a better word at the moment. The clock pattern, so there's one major arcana from one deck of cards and one minor arcana from another deck of cards, and then I will use another deck of cards to clarify what the message is for those cards. So starting off with January Gemini, we have the Fool as your major arcana and the Page of Pentacles, or Page of Earth as he's known here, as your minor arcana. And this is saying to me today, the Fool is coming through as a blank slate. It's a new beginning, but it's also coming through as a blank slate. Like there's nothing, it's like you're starting something completely brand new. And that's what this Page of Pentacles is saying for me here. Something completely brand new. It could be to do with work, it could be a new job, but it feels like it's something that you've not really you've not got experience with. It's something that you have never kind of entertained before, is how it's coming through. And now you're kind of, and it's like you're wanting something, you're wanting a new approach to something, or you're wanting a new direction, you're wanting something to it feels like to have some fun with, in a way. To challenge you as well. Something to challenge you, something that's going to help you to grow and learn and experience. Because that's what the Pages is all about. They're about growth, experience, learning. But it does feel like just this whole new start to the year, this whole new energy. Like I said, could be related to work. It's earth energy, so it's going to be to do with your environment, but it's something on the whole that's fresh, something that you've not, it just feels like something that you've not put time or energy or effort into before, something that you've not experienced and not got a lot of knowledge and understanding about. Could be starting some kind of course, studying something. But it just feels like this completely fresh approach. Starting with the, like with the Fool, as I was saying, the Fool has no face there at all. He's just like completely empty. It's just like this emptiness. So it's kind of, that's what it's saying to me, is there's something that needs to be, to fill up that space. Which is why it feels like this completely blank completely blank page. And he's also holding the world there in his hand as well. You see that there? He's holding the world. It's like a fresh start, something new. Trusting your instincts. And we also have a kitten down here as well, who's playing. This kitten's playing with this butterfly, and the kitten is kind of reminding me of this type of energy up here. Like, it's kind of like, you know, when a kitten's exploring the world, they do it with so much fun and curiosity and kind of like inquisitiveness, and that's kind of what's coming through here with this energy. But you do have the Four of Pentacles that's come out with this energy as well. So it's kind of saying to me, because I see the Four of Pentacles as being a kind of stuck, stagnant, kind of traditional, old type of energy, something where somebody's kind of stuck in their way of thinking. Very guarded, not allowing, it kind of seems like the complete opposite to this energy here. So maybe this is what you're trying to get away from, Gemini, or trying to move out of that energy of being stuck, of feeling that you've been stuck for so long now. Because his feet are planted firmly on these pentacles, and he's got this one here kind of guarding his heart, not allowing anything in, and then there's this other one kind of sitting on top of his head here on the crown. So it's kind of like, it feels like just yeah, this stagnant energy of just tradition, and this is how it should be done, and this is the way that we do things, and it feels like you just want to get away from all of that. You just want to break free from all of that. Is how it's coming through. You just want to kind of have this whole new beginning, this fresh start, like I say. And I keep getting blank page. Blank page. So I don't know if some of you are going to be writing, Gemini, communication, writing, maybe a good thing to do. Or maybe some of you are thinking of starting a book. But there's something about leaving the traditional. So let's see what comes in for February. We have the Lovers, which can be a choice, having to make a choice. It doesn't necessarily have to be two people. It can just be a choice that you've got to make in life. It may be that you have to put something on the back burner, or put somebody on the back burner, or maybe a sense of having to, yeah, kind of not give so much attention to your love life, to the person in your life. Because we have the Ten of Wands here, and the Ten of Wands is saying to me, like, if you see that she's kind of got all these flaming pages all around her, which is interesting again, because I was saying about possibly writing. But it feels like somebody is just kind of burning through, or getting rid of, or maybe love letters, maybe old just like history, old history, like old writings maybe that you've done, journals, stuff that you've written down, letters that, not that many people write letters anymore, or just old books or school books possibly, just it just feels as though somebody's clearing something out here. There's a clearing out in order to be able to kind of have that new beginning. And this could also have something to do with the lovers, as in the sense of not being able to, as I was saying, give them so much attention, pay them so much of your time and your energy. And need to focus on what you desire. Because we have the Nine of Wands that's come out with this, and also the Queen of Cups. So the Nine of Wands is seen as that wounded warrior, somebody who's been through a heck of a lot. Which is interesting because I'm seeing it like all of these wands here. It's also the same as all of these. It's kind of like getting to a point in your life where you're just kind of like, right, that's it, I've had enough. I'm just going to, it just feels like, this may just be metaphorical, but kind of just like a great big bonfire that's just going to kind of burn through all of that past stuff that you've been kind of carrying around, because this is literally straight after the 9 here, and each one of these wands here is a situation that you've kind of struggled through or struggled with. It's kind of like I suppose like a badge of honor in a way, or kind of like, you know, a certificate to say, this, I've been here, I've done this, I've achieved this, or I've suffered through this, and I've worked through this, and I've got through this, and but now it's kind of time to just let all of that go, to release it all. And again, it could have something to do with this lover's energy of just trying to kind of decide for yourself what it is that you want. Put your time and your energy and your effort into what you need, because the Queen of Cups here is talking about your wanting that cup, searching for that cup, being ready for that cup. But also I feel on some level that it is about you giving to you, Gemini. In a way, kind of being your own lover, as in being your own like best friend, your own you know, the one who takes care of you. And it may be because you have been burnt in the past, that you're kind of getting to that place where you're feeling you don't want to, at this time, not saying it's not going to change, but at this time you're not wanting any more experiences with other people. It's kind of how it's coming through, like not having to put your energy and your time and your effort into other people's lives or their problems or their also coming through in a way of not having to or needing to weird, like play at being mummy in a way. In the sense, yeah. Because he's looking back at those ones there as well. If you can see his face there, he's looking back at those ones. It's like he knows they're there. They're still there in his background, behind him, in his past energy, if you like. But there is this sense of, with this Queen of Cups, of kind of, because the Queen of Cups is very loving, she's very nurturing, she's very caring, very empathic, very giving, but she can also be that for other people more than for herself. Like she'll take good care of everybody else and she'll ignore her own needs. And that can be very tiring and very draining as well. Especially if you don't actually get the support that you need at the same time. You could find that you are feeling like you're giving out all this love and care and attention to everybody else, but you're not getting that support back. Lover's card can also be about like the person that you choose to have your relationship with. It's a decision, but they're a reflection of how you feel about yourself at the end of the day. Whether we realize that or not, what we attract to us is like a mirror, really, to our own inner belief about what we deserve. So moving on to March, you have the Page of Air in reverse and the Tower that's upright. So it does feel like, it feels to me as though something is going to be said here. Like you're going to hear something, like something is going to like a message that but it feels like it's going to be overheard rather than you actually being told something. Although it could be somebody, because the Page of Air can be very immature when he's in reverse, and he can be quite sharp or unaware of his effect, of the effect of what he says and how it's said. But I also feel as though there could be something here, Gemini, that you overhear somebody say, and it's going to bring in a tower moment for you. Sorry, that was actually up the right way. It's going to bring in this tower moment, which again is this kind of form of needing to be released from the past, because the tower is the structure that we build up around ourselves. It's all our own, it's the things that we kind of accept as being real, so we make our own say rules and regulations for ourselves. Oh, I can't do that because I can't do. It's that kind of energy where we restrict ourselves and stop ourselves because we're worried about the outer appearance of these things as well, of what we do. There is kind of a bit of a devil energy within the Tower, I always think. Worrying about other people's thoughts and opinions. But this is something that's going to come out of the blue. And I feel as though it has got something to do with overhearing something, or gossip, or somebody saying something that's like there's no going back. There's no going back from it. And you also have with it the 10 of Swords here as well. So there is this ending. There is, and it feels like quite a brutal ending in a way. With the 10 of Swords here, he's got all these swords in his back, which is why, another reason why I do feel as though this got something to do with like backstabbing or gossip. But the 10 of Swords, of course, is a kind of release in itself as well, because it kind of breaks us free from the kind of, how can you put it? It breaks us free from the mental turmoil that we have been going through, not knowing if something was real or true, or kind of that crazy energy that you can get when you're kind of trying to work out whether something is actually real or not about somebody. And then kind of something happens and you kind of see it really clearly. And the 10 kind of brings in that ending. But the thing about the 10 as well is here you can see that there is, the sun is rising in the background. So it's kind of saying there is a new day dawning here. The light is coming in after the dark. Out of the dark comes the light. So in a way, for me, it's kind of saying that this is a positive thing rather than a negative thing, even though it looks like it's a very negative situation. At the end, it's going to give you not just clarity and confirmation, it's also going to give you like a resolve, like a strong resolve about the situation, like not going back. Is how it's coming through for me here. So I'm just looking at this Queen of Cups cup here as well. It's kind of got these claws coming out of it, which I haven't really noticed before, but they are, I suppose, a bit like the, you know, the pincers, the crab's pincers. Which can be, again, quite sharp and quite... It's kind of coming through with this sense of, although there's this cup, that's full of love, at the same time there's this kind of warning there. Or you're getting to that stage, possibly, Gemini, where you're feeling enough's enough, and maybe these pincers are coming out in that way. Which is like a protection as well, in a way. Like the crab uses its pincers to protect itself. So in April, we have the World in reverse and we have the Six of Cups together. So the World is interesting because it has got this full energy in the middle of it again. And again, it means the ending of cycles, something coming to a close, something coming to a finish. And in the card here, you can see that she's sitting there and there's an emotional situation which I feel is coming from, still from this energy from March, where something kind of, yeah, it feels like kind of turns your world literally upside down. Like you're not sure anymore what you're doing. And again, if I turn this card upside down, it wasn't in reverse, but I'll show you that there is this child in the water there. So it's a nostalgic card as well. The child being the inner child, but also it can talk about that nostalgia of longing for something that felt like it should have, like looking back on your life in a way and kind of saying that, you know, that's not how it should have been. I shouldn't be in this situation now, experiencing this feeling now. Life shouldn't be like this is kind of what I'm getting from this. It's a sense of like life shouldn't be like this. I shouldn't have to go through this. I shouldn't have to be experiencing this. But there is this coming again, kind of full circle, like ending out a cycle on an emotional level. Something is definitely being brought to your attention, it feels, for something to be looked at. Because we have the moon here as well. And the moon, for me, when the moon is upright, it's full moon energy. And when it's in reverse, it's the new moon energy. So I see this as the full moon energy. And the full moon energy is the bright energy. It's shining a light on something. In that sense, it's kind of showing your intuition and expression and saying that how you feel on that deeper level here, this deeper knowing, this deeper instinctual kind of gut feeling, because you're there clutching at your stomach. That you kind of knew it all along, but at the same time you were hiding it from yourself. But now it's coming up into the kind of conscious awareness. It's not so buried in the subconscious anymore. It's coming up into the conscious awareness for you to deal with it. And for you to move on, to end that cycle, finish something out. And it could be with the Lover's card there as well, that this lover could have come back into your life in February. There's a lot of that going on at the moment with Venus retrograde. A lot of people are getting people come back round. So it could be that as well. And you're kind of like with this Ten of Fire, you're kind of looking at all your experiences with this person and going, well, hang about, there was this and there was this and there was this. And as you're going through it, you're kind of like getting rid of it, kind of clearing it out. Again, And it feels like something that wasn't very easy. There was a lot of struggle, and I feel a lack of support. And so even if this person kind of, if you still have strong emotional feelings for this person, Gemini, which you could well have, I feel like with this cup of love here that there is these pincers. There's something kind of like a warning. It's like you don't feel completely what's the word? Like satisfied, resonating with it completely. There's something that's kind of feels a bit off here, which I feel is this energy here that kind of comes in all of a sudden. You hear something in March time, which is when Venus stations direct, or comes out of shadow, sorry, when Venus comes out of shadow at that time. And we also have Mercury in the whole retrograde thing at this time as well, even though Mercury also has come out of shadow by that time, I believe. But it feels like with that moon energy, it was like you kind of knew on some level. But it's brought up the past, and it's brought up more things for you to look at, for you to deal with, for you to cope with on an emotional level, kind of reliving it in a way, re-feeling it very strongly. That situation. And yet at the same time, no longer actually being in it, no longer actually being in, so it is all to do with kind of memories and from the subconscious. So let's see what else we have in April. Sorry, May. In May, we move into the Faith card, which again is in reverse. So this to me is all about trust and who you've put your trust in, and maybe feeling that you have not trusted the right people. So it wasn't in reverse, it was upright. So feeling as though you, like, questioning your faith here, I feel. Or even maybe turning to faith, turning to an inner faith, turning to your own awareness. And beginning to look at things. Because we have the Eight of Pentacles here in reverse as well. But the Eight of Pentacles can talk about, especially when it's in reverse, of not learning the lessons. Each one of these coins represents an experience, represents a situation that you've put your time, your energy, your effort into to try and build something and try and kind of make something successful, make something that is satisfying, rewarding, feeds you, nourishes you. But when it's in reverse, there's this sense of in a way, it's a sense of failure, a sense of kind of feeling like, am I just going to keep doing this over and over again? And it may also be that you feel as though you kind of get to a certain point, possibly in a relationship or in a job or something, but then something kind of happens and everything just goes haywire. Everything just kind of, like, you end up having to walk away from it. You end up having to kind of leave it behind. Take another look at your life. But with the Faith card here as well, it does say to me that on some level there is still this deep faith within life itself. This deep connection with source energy, God, the universe, however you prefer to call it. And there is this, you do see or you do feel this connection. And it's like, you know, it's there for you to call on it when you need it, this inner strength in a way. This belief that things are going to be okay, that it will all work out, even if it is hard work and at times very tiring. So we have the Death card, we have the Judgment card in reverse, and we have the Nine of Swords in reverse as well. So there is something coming to a closure here. The Death card is saying that something is like a finality. And that sun in the background as well, between those two pillars there, it's kind of sinking rather than rising. I see it as a setting sun there. But these people, in a way, they're kind of, this is the thing about the old traditional cards, is they have these messages, this symbolism within them. And for the Death card, it's often about the fact that nobody can escape that Pluto energy, which is really strong at this time in our astrological world, if you like. And that doesn't necessarily mean it's a physical death. It can just be transformational, death of ourselves, rebirth. Something old has to die in order for something new to be reborn. And another thing about the death energy as well is that, like, well, basically it's, you know, it doesn't matter whether you're rich, whether you're poor, your religion, colour of your skin. It's a kind of a definite that we all kind of die through our lives as well. We go through all these different types of deaths. You know, we go from being single to being in a relationship or married, or we go from being a couple to then like having a child. And so all of these things are kind of like mini deaths of ourselves, because we're no longer the person who we are, or sorry, who we were. So we've become somebody new within that process, but we don't kind of recognize it. It's something that we tend to kind of ignore all these different deaths, and also impermanence as well. It's like everything is impermanent, even though it may seem as though it's going to be there forever. That doesn't necessarily mean that that is so. And so on some level, it's something that we all have to come to terms with. And we've got the Judgment card here as well, which is the call of, it was in reverse unfortunately, but it's the call of the dead to rise up. So there is this feeling of, again, kind of releasing, a lot of releasing. I feel as though there's a lot of that energy happening during 2022. A lot of kind of releasing of the old. We've got the North Node in Taurus and the South Node going through Scorpio. So we're all going to be feeling this kind of purging energy of having to release a lot of emotional ghosts from our past. And that can also be traumatic experiences as well. It's like heed the call. And there is also the Nine of Swords here as well. So there is a lot of kind of turmoil around this time. There's a lot of worry and a lot of stress. Around this period of time here. It could literally be taking care of people around you. It could be a period of mourning. Because the Nine of Swords talks about that situation of nightmares, the worst possible scenarios, and kind of not being able to get past that. And it doesn't look like a particularly nice time in May. I'm afraid for you, Gemini. It doesn't look like it's going to be an easy time or an easy situation. Yeah, fears. There's something else I'm getting here as well. Fears rising to the surface. A lot of fear. Having to deal with fears in general. Like these are also kind of representing those fears. But it's also kind of saying that if we don't do this, if we stay in denial, which is kind of this energy here, if we stay in denial and if we kind of try and ignore it, then we're just going to keep kind of going down into that darker depth. That's how it's coming through for you, Gemini. When I say we, you, Gemini. But the white rose on the flag for the death as well, that is interesting, because that does talk to me about kind of purity and transformation, which is really what the death card is bringing in as well. He's riding on a white horse, which is that cleansing, purging, detoxifying. So before I carry on, we then have the Justice card, which is up the right way. And the Justice card, if you see here, she has her eyes very tightly shut. They're usually blindfold. She's usually blindfolded so that she can't see, and the reason that she's not supposed to see is because she's very much to do with the intellect rather than the emotions. So when Justice kind of comes into our life, she's saying that we need to emotionally, like we need to remove our emotions out of a situation in order to be able to see things or make a decision, a clear decision, because here she's trying to balance things out. And she is a female warrior energy, a female warrior energy, which is why she's wearing all this armor as well, because she kind of is that very, I suppose, masculine, patriarchal mind way of viewing the world and viewing our lives. And there is a reason for that, and the reason for that is that if we allow our emotions to get caught up in a situation where we're supposed to be kind of trying to remain balanced and see things fairly and with honesty, then if our emotions get caught up in it, if we look at a situation and we become emotionally caught up in it, in that sense, through the eyes, through the use of our vision, which can then completely change how we actually respond to something or react to something. So in a way, it's kind of saying try and see things from another point of view, from a more don't really want to use the word calm, from a more level-headed point of view is what's coming through here. Be more level-headed about a situation here, possibly about the situation that you've gone through right the way up until this point. We have a Seven of Wands, but this is in reverse, and the Seven of Wands is about having to stand up and justify your beliefs and your opinions and what you believe compared to what other people believe, how other people see things. So this could be why you're needing to keep a level head here and keep the emotions out of this picture, out of this situation, Gemini. Because all these I feel, these like little firefly things that are buzzing around this unicorn, which is kind of like, I mean, a unicorn is unique, it's different, it stands out from the crowd, it doesn't fit in, and it's like all these little buzzy things here are kind of trying to like irritate it. Like they're drawn to it, they're attracted to it because it's different, because it's unique, but at the same time, because it's different to them, they then kind of end up picking on it in a way. So like this is kind of how I'm trying to explain the situation, is like not feeling like a part of something, like made to feel like an outsider, and because you're made to feel like an outsider, you have to kind of protect and justify your own views and your own opinions on things. And this could be an actual legal situation here, particularly if there's a situation where people are breaking up from partners relationships are coming apart at the seams. Things are fully like no going back, basically, which is something else that the Death card, and I think I said that earlier as well with the Tower, like there's no going back from that point. And it hurts. It's not like it's an easy thing to do. But there may be this need for you to stand up for yourself, justify a decision or what you're doing. Maybe other people, like I'm saying, these little bitey things around the horse, the unicorn, sorry, here. Maybe this is other people's opinions as well about what you're doing. Should you be doing it? Why are you doing it? You know, what you're going to get out of it. Do you think that's the right thing to do? Etc, etc. I wouldn't do it like that. I would do it a different way. All of these kind of outer, it feels like outer things coming in at you that you're going to have to kind of remain, yeah, calm and level-headed was what came through with this Justice card here. And in your integrity. Like this, unicorn, unique, special. Remember who you are. And that it's okay to have different opinions, to think differently. And it's also a card of, I think, like karmic situations, as in your past actions create your future actions, or sorry, your present actions, which then go on to create your future actions. So it's like this constant, this continuum flow of action from one action to the next action, which creates the world around you as we're living in it. And again, it's that sense of like, you know, once something has set the ball rolling, it's going to keep going until it comes to its kind of final conclusion, with whatever that conclusion may be. But it is upright. So it's saying that it's kind of in your favour in that sense. Interesting, because you have the Lovers in reverse. So it could, as I was saying, it could have something to do with couples splitting up, the courts, divorces, could even be scorned lovers wanting to kind of get their own back about something, or just kind of like not leaving a situation alone, just kind of keep things like so put that back, like getting your attention. Doesn't matter how they get your attention, as long as they have your attention, is what's coming through here. So again, that's another reason why this could be saying be level-headed about it. Stay calm, be level-headed. As much as it may irritate or annoy you, stay in your integrity. Because it could be that there is going to be, for some of you, somebody or some past lover, husband, wife relationship in general, where they're just going to, as I say, just keep your attention, just want your attention, no matter whether they get it negatively or positively. They don't care, they just want attention from you. They just want to keep you focused on them. And you're not wanting it, it feels, with the Lovers in reverse. You're not wanting it. You're not wanting to get back together with this person. You're not wanting to like, you see it very differently to how they see it. Or you could be the person that is doing this, Gemini. So if you are, just be aware that there can be retribution, or there will be some kind of retribution in that sense. It's not healthy. It's not going to make you happy. What's going on? Okay, so in July, you have the Hermit, and he's upright. And the Hermit is saying to me that there's lessons to be learned here, that you are going into a mode of looking at things on a deeper level. Like just deeper, just going deeper into things, wanting to know more, because it's come out with the 10 of Cups in reverse as well. So this is about not feeling happy, not feeling content, wanting happiness, but still feeling on the outside of it, like not understanding it. There's a sense here of feeling like you need to what's the word I'm looking for? That you need to see and look at what it is that makes you unhappy. What are the situations that have made you unhappy? Because those are the situations that you keep kind of gravitating towards. And so the Hermit is about going within to find that inner peace within yourself, that inner contentment, and realizing on some level that it's more about finding it within yourself rather than looking or finding it outside. That if you're not going to find it within, then you're not going to be able to find it elsewhere. Is how that's come through, because we have here the 8 of Swords. Which is a card of feeling trapped. trapped, but it's being trapped by what you don't understand. It's about being trapped by what you can't see, because she really isn't trapped at all. There's no swords in front of her. She can just move away and walk away from that situation, but she stays there. She keeps staying there. Because she has trapped herself into believing, he, herself, not gender specific, into believing that it's dangerous, that danger is all around her, that there is danger everywhere, that she can't move, she daren't move. So she's bound by her own thoughts. And that's kind of what the Hermit is saying here, that this is about kind of a graduation, if you like. Going within, meditating. We also have the Four of Wands and the Knight of Pentacles. Four of Wands is about building something solid. A lot of people see this as leveling up in a relationship. It can also be to do with leveling up within yourself here. It's about, for me, it's about foundation and structure, like laying the foundation for something that's going to last, something that is going to be worthwhile. And to do that, you need to go within and find your answers from within. And the answer that you're particularly looking for is, why am I always so unhappy? What makes me, why do I feel this way deep down inside? Why am I not happy? Because the Ten of Cups in reverse is unhappiness. And it's also a sense of feeling like you're always missing out, that happiness eludes you. And it's interesting as well, because if you turn that card up that way, you get very similar looking energies there, that Hermit and that Buddha. It's not actually a Buddha, it's a laughing Chinese god, I believe. But anyway, it's very Buddha-like, and it's very kind of to do with meditation and happiness and finding it within. So there is a similarity within those two cards there. But it's also come out with the Knight of Pentacles as well. So the Knight of Pentacles is saying that this is a slow process. This isn't something that you can just rush. You can't just rush through this. This needs time, it needs your attention, it needs your focus. It needs you to go deep within your own psyche here, Gemini. So we also have cards are moving about everywhere. In July, we have the Hangman, which for me is coming out with a sense of, because I see this card as the light, like being drawn towards the light. It's my moth towards the flame, because she is holding this moth in her hand there. I don't know if you can see that. That is actually a pink moth that she's holding there, and she always looks like a flame to me, like a really bright light, and moths are always attracted to bright lights. And this hangman energy here, I see as in July you coming out on some level with this kind of higher understanding of getting a new perspective on things, of seeing things a lot clearer, kind of plugging yourself in to the mains in a way. That's how that's kind of coming through here with these two lights coming down, which are actually kind of coming out of his hands as well, or they're connected. It's like something connects, something kind of connects, ding, 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 ding in your brain, Gemini. It's like a sudden realization. And in that sudden realization, you also kind of awaken this energy here, which I feel like I always see this as being like in that connection, in that kind of like understanding that everything is connected, that you are a part of it all, and it is all a part of you, and also that all of it, all of this experience, the good, the bad, the ugly, all of it is valuable. It's all valuable. And that's what I'm seeing with this card here. I see it as my light card, and this connection with these antennae, or whatever you like to call them. I see them as antennae, kind of connecting into the field, the bigger field, the consciousness field, the awareness field, but also kind of staying very firmly planted on the ground. So as you're kind of connecting with the ground and nature and Mother Earth, and you're also connecting, so you're bringing it in and actually able to do something worthwhile with this new energy, this new found source of just amazingness. Is kind of how it's coming through there. Of light, awakening. Because it is an awakening. That's how it's coming through. It's coming through like an awakening, a massive awakening. But yeah, keeping your feet firmly planted on the soil, in the ground at the same time. So we have the Hermit, which is in reverse, and we have the King of Swords. So the Hermit, I'm seeing this because it's in reverse. I'm seeing it as a sense of realizing that the light does come from within, rather than kind of looking outside and trying to find your answers, because the King of Swords is also the mind, the intellect, looking for wisdom, looking for knowledge, seeking the bigger understanding. The king, obviously sits on the throne. He's got the wisdom, he's got the mastery, he's got the knowledge, he's got this sword here which kind of is symbolic of the intellect, that kind of laser beam focus, sharp, cutting, that mind that just can see really clearly. So that's what I feel is coming from this kind of awakening. And of course, being a Gemini, this is your energy. This is your energy right here. This King of Swords. This awakening mind. And also with the Hermit in reverse, it's like no longer needing to look for other people to give you answers. To carry that light for you. Again, it is a kind of leveling up energy I feel there, Gemini. And the Hermit is quite a Gemini energy in the sense that the Hermit is also, although it's said to be Virgo, it is also ruled by Mercury as well. So Mercury is very much that thinking mind, the communication, the thinking, the information, data, quick thinking, fast moving. And talking of that, actually I'll read this first. So that was August, we're moving into September, and in September we have the Chariot in reverse and the Two of Fire in reverse as well. And what I got from this was a sense of something like coming out of this energy here. It's like something has got you fired up, but the Chariot here is saying hold your horses. Don't go leaping into anything at this time. Hold back. Like almost like this is an idea that is kind of being nurtured or slowly kind of coming to make more sense, or not even to make more sense, but kind of being built slowly, kind of creatively. Like it's coming together creatively, and it's not something that needs to be rushed or should be rushed, which is what I'm getting with this Chariot, as I was saying, in reverse. If you can see there, there are literally these horses kind of trying to steam ahead there. I know a lot of people say that this card is the Cancer card. Personally, I don't ever see this as the Cancer card. I always see it as the Aries card. This person here being Aries who drew the Sun Chariot across the sky. Also Mars energy. So for me, the Chariot is very much about kind of wanting to jump into something. When it's upright, it's about things moving quickly and smoothly, and you having to kind of take the middle path, keep things together. But here, when it's in reverse, I feel as though it's saying, like, you know, literally, whoa, slow down, slow down. You may have kind of got all this charged up energy here that you want to do something with now. You may have got these kind of new ideas with this Hangman, this new way of seeing things, a new perspective. It may be giving you all these wonderful creative outlook on life as well. And with the King of Swords there as well, I do feel as though it is very much to do with the mind, and very much to do with kind of like, in many ways, could be overactive as well, like a lot of kind of charged up energy, which literally you kind of want to charge into doing something. But I feel as though it's time to kind of just how's it's coming through? It's kind of, because the colours for me in this card are really interesting as well, because they're very subtle. They're very subtle pinks and yellows and oranges, so they're not that kind of blazing fire energy yet. They're still kind of like building. There's something that's still kind of needing to come together is what I keep getting, needing to kind of yeah, like be nurtured, like be brought into this place of readiness, but you're not there. It's not instant, which is what you're wanting to rush in. You're wanting to leap into something, which is very Gemini, very Mercury energy. It's like, got the idea, now I've got to kind of do it before it's too late. But we have the Five of Cups here, which can talk about things being difficult, like shame, guilt. Five of Cups, the Emperor, and also the Six here, the Victory, the Six of Wands in reverse as well. So it feels like it may be that there's something here that you feel you should do or should have done in the past, especially with this Emperor energy here as well. What it kind of feels like is that you want to kind of make amends for something, or you want to kind of, like there's an authority figure here with the Emperor, which can come through as a father figure or a masculine role model type of energy. But it feels like there's something or somebody who you may feel that you let down because of this energy here, and that you want to kind of make amends. You want to prove something to them, Gemini. This person could have been very successful in what they did. They could have been somebody who was the owner of a business or a company, or you know, they sat on their kind of throne of their court in a way, in the sense that they were very much in charge. This person was very much in charge of their life, and even of those possibly around them as well. But it does feel as though there could be this situation. This is why you're wanting to rush ahead with something or make something work, to try and maybe it's your own guilt as well. Maybe, well, I say guilt, but I don't particularly like the word guilt. But your feelings of shame, of not doing better, of maybe not being as successful as you could have been, or others feel you should have been, in this more kind of victorious position by now. So you may be looking at that as well. wanting to become more successful, wanting to become like, you know, achieve more, do more, achieve more. Because the Emperor is a very kind of solid, concrete type of energy. He kind of builds. He's the builder of the world, if you like. He builds his world around him. And he creates it very solidly for himself, and he rules over it in that sense. And I'm not saying that that's kind of what you're wanting to become yourself, Gemini, but I feel as though there's this kind of sense that maybe that's what you should have been doing, or that's what you could do. But I also feel on some level that there is this kind of holding back, that something is saying, no, whoa, hold back, that's not what it's about. Because we also have the Death card here as well, coming out in October, which is quite interesting. I think the Death card has come out in just about every reading I have done so far. So that is only the Aries and the Taurus reading, but that's 3 readings now out of the 3. I believe the Death card came out in Aries as well. And of course you do have the Death card here as well, so you have actually got the Death card twice. So there does seem, why it's in reverse, there does seem to be a lot of transformation happening around you at this time, Gemini, or within you. Or you're experiencing a lot of changes or deaths that are occurring, because we also have this 4 of water energy here as well. And the 4 of water is a card of sadness. And here, it came out in reverse, but here she's kind of, I always see this as the crystal ball card, kind of being offered a glimpse into the future. Being offered a glimpse of, or even possibly already seeing, being able to see into the future, see what is coming. Because the Death card can also have that element of like psychic ability. It is a Scorpio related, Pluto related card, and they are very in tune. When they're in tune with their energy, they're very, very open, very psychically aware, shall we say. Intuitively, they know what's going on, they know what's coming. And so it may be that on some level you are already aware. With that 4 of water card. Four of Cups. Can also be a card of not being content. Particularly when it's in reverse. More transformation, more changes, more shedding of the skin because this also looks like a snake here as well. And snakes, of course, shed their skin. And again, we have the South Node in Scorpio. South Node being the energy of what we need to let go of, what we collectively, karmically need to release, where we've been already. So this could also be to do with like past, again, more past energy. With the Four of Water. That sense of looking into something that you may not want to see the future of. And it's come out with the Seven of Pentacles. Which really is the card of like, you know, you reap what you sow. It is the harvesting period. A time of harvesting. And that will be moving into October. And with everything that's been going on over these past 2 years, we could be seeing a lot of harvesting of souls, should I say. I don't particularly want to put it any other way. But there could be some, with this Four of Cups here, it's also coming through with kind of a sense of there could be some regrets of maybe not doing things differently. But the Seven of Coins is upright. And he is kind of looking at those pentacles in a sense of, is this the right time? I'm going to put another card on there. What is the Seven of Pentacles about, please, source energy? The Knight of Cups in reverse. Yeah, again, it feels like this sense of mourning something. And the Knight of Cups in reverse. In the Knight, when he's up the right way, he is very romantic. He is very in love with love itself, the idealism of love, rather than the actual reality of love, shall we say. The reality of life is very different to the kind of fantasy world that the Knight of Cups creates for himself and for those who he wants to have in his story. And that doesn't always live up to the truth of something. So there could be something that is going to make you realize that the fantasy world here, Gemini, is not the same as the reality of life here. That what you believed to be true and what you thought you were going to be receiving may not be one and the same thing. Death card also for me speaks of big changes. Again, endings, finalities, no going back to a situation that has been in the same way. So, before I forget, let's do November. The Strength card in reverse, followed by the 8 of Fire, also in reverse. Again, this has this kind of similar energy to what I was just talking about, in the sense of the 8 of Fire. I always see that all of this, which is actually bamboo, but I kind of see it as this illusionary curtain in front of something that's behind that curtain. There's kind of like there's something going on behind. So it's again that kind of reality and illusion. So you kind of project onto that curtain what it is that you're wanting to experience or to see. And the Strength card in reverse is kind of saying it's going to take a lot of strength. Literally, it's kind of, that's just the message that I'm getting. It's going to take a lot of strength. Whatever it is that is being revealed or going to be revealed to you, Gemini, in November, like fantasy, it still feels like fantasy versus reality. It's going to take a lot of strength from within, a deep strength within, to deal with it, to cope with it. I do also see the Strength card as a case of like the masculine and the feminine energy being brought into balance, like knowing when's the best time to roar and to use that more masculine energy, and also when is it better to approach something from a more kind of gentle way of viewing things, or approaching something, literally approaching something with a more if you look at her face though, she is very, very, I don't know, stern is the word. She's like very aware, like there's an awareness there in that card, in her eyes. It's kind of saying to me, kind of saying to me, I know. It doesn't matter what you try to hide from me, I know. And it's like, Gemini, you're going to have to kind of deal with it or cope with it. And find, like I was saying, find this deep inner strength to get through that situation, whatever that situation may be. So let's see. What that situation is. Oh, let's see if we can get any clarity on what that situation is. The Eight of Fire can also be seen as messages coming in, communication coming in, bringing light to a situation. Again, I see it as kind of taking away that kind of curtain that separates the truth from the deception, is kind of how it's coming through here. So let's see. What are the messages, please, source, for November for Gemini 2022? Oh, there we go. Strength again, and the Star, in both in reverse. So it does feel like there's something that definitely needs a lot of strength. A lot of strength is being called for here. And you may feel with the Star in reverse as well that you just don't have that strength, you just don't have the optimism, you no longer have the enthusiasm. Like something has really kind of, feels like knocked you sideways here. The Star can talk about destiny. Destiny can be, it's not always, destiny is not always something that is obvious or apparent or even, it just like even hopeful, you know, that it's like there's a sense of because the story about the Star, of course, is that Pandora box, that the Star is hidden at the very bottom of the box that Pandora opened, that was full of all the suffering and all the crap that got let out in the world, the suffering, the pain, the sorrow, the hardship, disease, all those kind of nasty things. But the Star was at the very bottom of the box, and it was the Star that kind of brought the hope back that there would always be like a solution, or like not to give up, not to give up. But this feels like on some level that there's just a sense of like how much more, like how much more. And in December we have the Temperance card in reverse again. The Temperance card in Greek mythology, Temperance is the goddess Iris. She is the goddess of the rainbow, literally, which kind of fits in a way with this energy of lack of enthusiasm, lack of hope, kind of giving up on things improving. Because temperance needs to keep things flowing. Temperance needs to keep, like, things need to be constantly flowing backwards and forwards with temperance. That's why usually she's depicted with 2 cups, 1 gold, 1 silver, which symbolically relates to the sun and the moon, which symbolically relates to the masculine and the feminine. So it talks about the heart energy of the masculine and the feminine constantly kind of flowing backwards and forwards within a relationship. So temperance literally is the relationship itself between 2 people, or between two people. She is the third entity, if you like. She is the relationship. She is what is created outside of the energy between 2 people. So she has to keep that flow constantly going backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards. And if that flow stagnates, then our relationships stagnate as well. So these relationships don't have to be intimate. They can be relationships with anybody, but they're relationships that need to be kept alive. They need to be fed. They need to be nurtured. They need to have equality, balance. They need to have people who are prepared to listen, because communication is also about listening. It's not just to do with talking all the time. Communication can also be done on other levels as well, of course, body language, that kind of thing. It's like things can be picked up on. So temperance is that energy of keeping things moving within a relationship, keeping the dynamic moving within a relationship, not allowing things to stagnate. And here we also have the rainbow, which is literally, and if you turn it up this way, you can see that it makes a heart, because we've got the wings here, which are kind of heart shaped, but then there's this heart energy, rainbow, which also relates to kind of all the chakras being balanced as well. That's where the rainbow energy also stems from. But when it's in reverse, it's kind of saying that there are stagnant energies here, that things aren't flowing, things aren't running smoothly, things are not like stagnation. Like if you think of a river, if it stops flowing, then the creatures that are in it, or that rely on it somehow for their well-being, are either going to die, like i.e. the fish, or creatures that can't actually leave that area will all end up dying. But then the ones that can leave will leave because they've no longer got anything to feed them. So it's like that flow, that constant flow, keeps things moving, keeps things dynamic and alive and oxygenated, and that's kind of how I see the Temperance energy. So when she's in reverse, it's kind of saying to me that things are stagnating for you here, Gemini. And with the 10 of air, again here, saying there is this need to release the pain, because this is the same card, 10 of Swords here and the 10 of air, but here the swords are depicted as feathers, so they're not as painful, there's not as much pain involved in that way, but there's still a need here for something to be let go and released. Possibly to do with communication, as I was saying, because if you look here, she's actually breathing, she's blowing out, breathing out, blowing out, and the feathers are kind of moving. She's keeping them moving, she's keeping them dynamic, whereas here they're not. Here it's just very stagnant because it's in reverse. So maybe there is a need here for communication, for opening up to somebody, expressing your thoughts. Is what's coming through. So let's see. So we have the King of Cups here. We have the Queen of Cups earlier, and we have the King of Cups here as well. And the King of Cups, again, is that very loving, empathic, intuitive feeling, sensing, instinctual energy. And it does kind of fit in with this Temperance energy in that sense. You know, the King of Cups would be the one who would want to heal things, smooth things over, comfort. So it could be that somebody with that energy is going to enter into your life, Gemini, in December. But you also have the Ace of Swords here as well, so you may not be completely open to that situation. The Ace of Swords in reverse. If it was upright, then it would be being crowned, but there's something here. You may feel that this is too good to be true, and you're kind of waiting for it feels like the lies, the deception, because the Ace of Swords in reverse can be very, very suspicious energy. Like waiting for, because when it's upright, it's kind of truth and kind of, you know, that crowned energy of the truth coming in. But here it's kind of saying that there's something, Gemini, that you're not completely trusting about this energy, this person, And like I say, it may be that you just feel it's too good to be true. But we also having the Three of Pentacles in reverse as well. It would say to me that you are not willing to build on this at this time, which could well be why the Temperance card is in reverse as well. That you're not ready. You're not ready or open for a relationship, to build with somebody, to create something together. So you're kind of, I feel, keeping this energy at bay. It could be that this person is a good communicator as well. Can be very charming. The King of Cups. Very charming energy. But Gemini, you don't feel, it doesn't feel as though you're open or ready or even wanting to build a relationship. It just doesn't feel like that's that's ironic, because you've just got blessing in a relationship, and that's the picture for the card. So that's really ironic. It says a current relationship is reflecting something that is wounded inside you, a wound from long ago, perhaps even from a past life. Look within, find the part of you that is wounded and send it love. All will heal and you will be stronger and wiser for it. So maybe that's the relationship from the past that has kind of made you... Oh, we've got another one here. I didn't see that one. The blessing of meditation. Seriously. Amazing. Seeing as you got the Hermit twice. So the blessing of meditation is saying your window of perception is cleansed, and for a moment you see life as it truly is. Infinite and eternal. Meditation will help you rise above any situation and event and see things clearly. What usually seems chaotic and disorderly can seem the opposite. Know there is divine order in your life. So, relationship and meditation. But it does feel as though you may just not be ready, as I was saying, by December, that you're still healing from something, possibly, especially with all of that inner strength and feeling depleted on some level and giving up. But I don't think you're going to completely give up on this person. I don't think this person will give up on you either, Gemini. I think that there is this kind of limited connection or limited relationship there, which does kind of say that there is something that can be built on. You could build upon this if you wanted to, but that is your choice. So that's where I'm going to leave the reading and say that I hope that it has been of some help to you. I hope that you have got something out of it and that you've enjoyed it. Thank you very much for coming to my channel and listening to me and partaking on some level in this reading. And wish you all the best for 2022. Before I forget, please could you thumbs it up for me if you have liked it or enjoyed it, got anything out of it. The more thumbs it gets, the more attention is given by YouTube to it, so other people can then also decide whether or not they want to watch it. Also, thank you very much to those of you who have liked and have subscribed to my channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, please could you do so. Also, the subscription button will be on the video, so you can just tap that and the bell will come up and you can decide as to whether or not to get my videos when I put them out. And also there's a playlist if you're interested at all. Full moon and new moon videos are all on there, as well as the sun signs. I'm going to complete the 2022 videos and also start doing more of the other videos in between as well, like all the sun sign videos, so they will be getting put out there as well. So thank you very much again, and wishing you all the best, Gemini, and hopefully I will see you again soon. Take care.